Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome back to another little review of something that I came across just this weekend, and a couple of funny little stories. I've actually had this since it came out in 1979. It is, in fact, the Spellcaster's Bible, a book of spells for use in fantasy role-playing games. Copyright 1979 by the Playing Board, with special thanks to Patty Collins, Cliff Perotti, Jeff Seuss, FRP Games. Illustrations by Vanna Prince. Published by the Playing Board, Albany, California. This is a list of 1st through 15th level spells. You heard me correct. 15th level spells. Now, some of these spells have been created or rehashed in other games since then, but some of them not so much, just because of the sheer magnitude of the just power that they evoke. There is a little thing here on spell points and spell power and spell range and things like that, but most of them are just fine as is, dropped into games like Arduin, of course, Advanced Dungeons & Dragons first level. Second edition, not so much, for reasons I'll get into. There's a little chart here, level of the mage and level of the spell. Level of the spell going up to 25th level spells, which I don't know what volume those are in, but I need that now in my collection if such a thing exists. And then level of the mage, where a 23rd level mage would get 4 9th level spells, 2 10th level, and 2 11th level spells. But a whopping 50th level mage would get 22 first level spells a day, 22 second level spells, 22 up to 6th level spells a day. 22 6th level spells a day. It just blows my mind. All the way to 9 15th level spells a day. There's only 2 15th level spells in this book. Just saying. So, again, if there's more to this company and more to these products, I need to know. 7 19th levels, 7 18th level spells, 5 21st level spells a day, and whopping 1 25th level spell a day. And there are some really good spells in here. Awaken is just... I swore this game was in Might and Magic, the video game. When your party goes to sleep, you just cast the first level spell, Awaken. The Conjured Sword, it's the first level spell. The spell instantly creates a +1 sword in the mage's hand, which he can strike an opponent with the same melee round, doing a d8 damage if it hits. The sword does an additional 1 to 8 points of damage every 3 levels of the caster. Blah blah blah. The caster can maintain the sword with spell point cost calculated once per melee, as long as he doesn't throw any other spells. So you can keep it going. Just basically summons a +1 longsword, but most games don't let magic users use longswords. But cures sickness, seasickness, and hangover. I'm sure the clerics to the god Ralph and Earl got that at first level as well. Elven senses, insomnia, detect magic's in here, to predict weather, spells that later on would show up as, not wizard spells like druid spells, things like that. A lot of crazy damaging spells. Multiple disintegrate, like there's a spell that will disintegrate everything in a bigger area of effect. Acid rain, body blast. Spell causes explosions to ignite around the target. Do a d6 per level of the caster. Blind 1 to 6 melee rounds, and deafen 2 to 12 melee rounds. If target makes their saving throw, then they suffer half damage and deafness for 1 to 6 rounds. It's a 5th level spell. Converse with the dead. Gamma ray vision gives you X-ray vision. Just all kinds of crazy stuff. The art in here is not fantastic, but for a shoestring budget, I'm sure they spent whole dollars for some of these particular pieces of artwork. Castle Protection. I like this one for a 7th level spell. This spell will turn away all types of up to 4 hit dice and 50% up to 7 hit dice and 25% 10 hit die creatures, so they can't even come near your castle. That's kind of awesome. 8th level, Close Gate, Cure Insanity, Dispel Undead, Undetectability, The Last Word. By casting the spell on himself prior to his death, 1 melee round after his death, he can cast any one of his spells, thus he gets the last word. It's kind of interesting. Reassemble the Undead, Regenerate Limb. These are 8th level spells. 9th level, Cure any blindness, interdimensional travel, temporary monster raise, bringing them back from the dead, but only monsters, things with, non-humanoids. Mana drain. The target must make a saving throw or lose all of his remaining spell points, or in this case, memorize spell slots, which would be nasty if suddenly, all your spells are forgotten for the day. Be great for boss fights. Mass Obliteration. 11th level, Anti-Destruction. Balls of Destruction. Deactivation Aura. Balls of Destruction creates a 1-inch sphere which can contain any spell of 11th level or lower, which the mage is capable of throwing. The effects of the spell contained in the ball are released only when the caster desires it. So they're little kind of like nasty little time bombs. Advanced Disease. These are 12th level spells. Advanced Prismatic Wall. Constitution effect doubled, so you get double the hit point bonus. It's kind of dumb. But here's one. Drain of Death. This spell can work 2 ways. When cast at a target, the target must save or lose the level of caster in life levels. So, a 20th level caster casts a spell, your target loses 20 levels. Ow. Mind you, if they're anything worth their salt, they're probably going to get a pretty decent saving throw. And if they save, they only take half. Only half. So 10 levels. That spell is just ridiculous, right, folks? But it just goes on and on like that. And I'm going to go jump to the 15th level spells, because there's only 2. Blackstone's Pills creates 1 small red pill which contains a number of spell points equal to the number of mage's total spell points. So if the spellcaster had 500 points, the imbiber of the pill would suddenly have that much in the way of magical energy to, cast or spell slots. The spell incapacitates the mage for 1 to 4 days. Small price to pay. This is not total incapacitation, but rather the mage cannot function magically. Note, if more than 1 pill is taken in 1 day period, there's a 75% chance of an overdose, which causes unconsciousness for 1 to 4 hours, with a 10% chance of death. But think about it. You cast the spell and you give it to somebody, and now they can cast all your spells for the day, or they themselves could replenish all their spell slots. That's really badass, just saying. There's also a list of ingredients for the conjurations and other spells, and a couple of interesting conjurable beasts: the Astral Eye Beast, Best, the Caller of Nightmares, and the Blue Star. Interesting little monsters that you can summon for doing your bidding. And then there's there's a list of spell by level, and then spells listed alphabetical order with the page, which they should have just done one or the other with the page, but they wanted to even out the pages, I guess. But the best part about this book, because I just talked to George from Emperor's Choice right before this, and apparently this book is now Arduin. But the thing is it was kind of always Arduin, because I'm going to read you a little snippet right here at the... I need my glasses again for this one, because this is tiny, tiny print. I mean, just microscopic. But it looks like they literally had a stamp created because it's in blue ink right here at the bottom. You can see that little bit. And it says, and I quote, "Some of the material within this book is inspired by and based upon material from the Arduin trilogy and other works by David A. Hargrave. Copyright." So this is the ultra secret probation, top secret squirrel list of secret spells for Arduin and any game you want to try and incorporate them in. I know it's no longer in fashion to have high level games because most people can't handle it, but this goes to show you back in '79 people were playing games like this. Not the mud sword, not the keep them low, keep them poor, keep them powerless, but yeah, I'm going to cast 500 spells, spell levels in a day, and I'm going to need to take a pill so I can do it again before the day is through. Kind of badassery, kind of over-the-top gonzo, ultra power fantasy stuff from the very beginning, and all we've done is fall away from that since the 70s. I'm going to try and bring that back with my games. I'm kind of doing that now. Ask my Sunday night crew. There really is no limit to your imagination, and this proves from day one, more or less, that people wanted to play powerful characters, and it was only over the years that people stopped being able to do that, being able to handle that, being able to stretch their imagination. I, for one, not one of those guys, and I hope you guys will join me on my little journeys into badassery and absolute mega powerful power gamer, whatever you want to call it. I wear those as badges of honor. Hope you will too. Hope you'll, maybe pick up a copy of this or break yours out and go through it and just enjoy just the absolute craziness that was going on back when we were kids, and the creators were just whetting their appetite on fantasy role playing. That's what I got for you this morning. I will be back tomorrow with 2 videos for you because it will be Tuesday. Hope you guys have a great week. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving weekend, and I will see you guys all in the funny papers.